beautiful night when we can be able to just make sure that we play a lot of good music. I want to welcome everybody, the world, the universe, to this edition of Legacy Showcase. IamBranded here tonight, and the guest that I have is live. I'm about to put a mic on this gentleman in a second, but I also wanted to let you people know, hey, overseas, I love y'all. I love all the action that we are continuing to get throughout. It's a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to be able to just enjoy some nice blues, some jazz, some just sounds. To me, I kind of see myself as a young guy, semi, kind of, sort of. But I mean, when you have a guest like I have who has played throughout decades and played at a high level for a lot of different venues, concerts, albums, etc. I mean, when we have a guest like my guest, it's only right that we pay our respects. And a big hello goes to Mr. James Blood Ulmer here on Legacy Showcase. How you doing, sir?
I'm okay. I'm doing good.
Good. Not only you doing good, I mean, you just had a birthday, right? You just turned 21 February 2nd, right?
Yeah, right.
Just turned How you doing, man? How was your birthday? Happy 21st.
It was good. It was good. I spent my birthday with my grandson.
There you go. Hey, we're not gonna believe you have a grandson when you just turned 21, man. Come on now.
Okay, yeah, right. That's right. Yeah.
Man, no, happy belated birthday, man, and blessings to you. I'm glad you're here to hang out with us and just
good.
And I gotta tell you, man, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, so it's a privilege to be able to have you here. Just, I know you performed and played in so many different venues throughout your career. I mean, I'm gonna start off by asking you, like, which place that you remember vividly? I know it's a lot of them, but a lot of places that you feel like, you know what, I love the energy of said crowd in a certain particular venue back in the day or recently.
Oh man, when you said that, I got so excited because when I first came to New York I came to New York in '71, and the very first gig that I got after I came from Detroit, and I came in here in New York. I moved from Detroit to New York, and the first gig I landed was at Mitten Playhouse. After leaving Detroit, without any static, I just got that gig, and I took the same band that I was playing with in Detroit, and we played right in Mitten Playhouse for 6 nights, 6 months straight until they closed. And that was that's one of the most things that happened to me since I was playing music that was very, very exciting.
All right now, all right.
Every musician that I know that I have listened to before I got to New York have been on that stage.
All right. I mean, I wanted to ask that just for the simple fact that, I mean, I know you played in so many different places, and to me, I always feel like when you're a blues guitarist and when you have those instruments and you can be able to look in the crowd and you can be able to see them just vibing when you are, it's like, I mean, it's a surreal feeling, versus just, standing there singing in some occasions, right?
Yes.
And I always feel like, I mean, and I just think that in a lot of cases, and correct me if I'm wrong, James, that it sometimes, we need to appreciate that art form of music a lot more so, especially nowadays, right?
Yes. Blues you're talking about. All right.
Absolutely. I mean, a blues guitar. I mean, we need to. I swear, man, we need to appreciate and embrace all that you do and all that the blues guitarists and so on and so forth, man. I mean, we need to embrace it. Though the art form that you guys have is always gonna stand the test of time because of how you make a person feel with just playing the guitar. Sometimes you don't even have to sing, right?
Well, I played a lot of part of my career without singing.
Absolutely.
And singing is another way to get to the heart. And I don't know.
Amen.
I've had to say, does music speak louder than words, or do words speak louder than music? I don't know.
I think music in a lot of ways speak louder than words when you think about it, because words is just that. But I think the music itself, I think when you have that music, passion, yeah.
I think because I say music speaks louder than words, because I think that's the thing, because if you play music to people who even don't speak your language or whatever,
right,
speak their language, you still seem to kind of get to them with your music.
Yep.
You know, whether it's words or music, whatever, but music, words and music can turn into the same thing.
Yep.
You can do music with words, you can do music with instruments. So which is the closest to music, words or music?
I think it's always been music. It's always been music to it's always been music to me, because you know, when I listen to your music and I listen to others, and you know how it is. I mean, music equals memories, right? You know, good, bad, or in the middle. So when you're on stage, James, and when you're doing what you're doing, I mean, I know you peek up and you see the crowd and you see them just moving and shaking and just kind of just, you know, I always see it as having an out-of-body experience too when it comes to just that. I mean, what you're doing, your God-given talent, James, is what you're giving to the next people. It's strangers, people you don't even know, and you're making them feel a certain way because of what you're actually putting forth. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing, right?
Yes, because they give you inspiration.
Absolutely.
They make you feel what you feel. That's amazing.
So let me ask you this, and James Blood Ulmer is our guest on Legacy Showcase, brought to you by Nexxlegacy.com. And my I always wanted to ask you, like, I mean, because I always see you're still a young man. I know you just, you know, had a birthday and everything, and you know you're still barely trucking along at 21 years of age. So let me ask you, when you first got started doing what you're doing, as far as, you know, you picking up a guitar, you doing what you're doing, what made you feel like, you know what, this is how I'm gonna build my life around. I'm gonna revolve my life around on this talent that I have.
Well, when I came to that conclusion, I had left my home and came to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I left South Carolina to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I was there for the summer. And we were always dancing and playing in the street and doing music. Was on the corner. Guys was doing doo-wop and boom boom and everything on the corner. And at the end of the summer, my family said, "Okay, it's time to get a job." I said, "A job? Okay. What I need to do? You need to pay some rent." So they said, I said, "How much is it?" It was a very small amount. I said, "Well, if I can get that, if I can get this rent money without getting a job, will it be all right?" She said, "As long as you don't steal it." So right then, I remember my dad had taught me how to play the guitar and brought me up in the church playing gospel, and I went to the guitar that day.
Right. Wow. And you never stopped, obviously, right? Never stopped.
I'd always play the guitar.
And James, as you go through, you know, a couple of decades or so, and you see how music has evolved, not just your genre as far as, you know, I always feel like, you know, a lot of different styles of music is pretty much the same thing as blues, right? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing that I feel like a lot of people can get, appreciate, soak in, and embrace as far as just the culture of it. When you think back and you see where music started from when you started to how it is now, what's your overall opinion about it?
Well, see, I think music came from a root, came from a history, and I think blues is the history of our music, and everything comes, and that expresses. You can express any form of it from that standpoint, and it's an unwritten music theory that exists, that enters you, and you come up and you can branch it off into many branches to the blues, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You can go any way of it, but one thing, wherever you go, the blues is going to be on your back.
That's right.
That's where you're coming from. It's like being born, and you have to know where you come from. I hope. I mean, sometimes you don't, but
hey,
I think that
you're never lying. You're never lying, James. I feel like when with a lot of us, and I'm talking as a fan first. When we do have, someone like yourself, and we can go Ella Fitzgerald, we can go, a lot of different Louis Armstrong, we can go Charlie Parker, we can go a lot of different places with a lot of different styles, and not only will it all kind of amount to the same as far as the appreciation of it, it takes a lot of hard work too, right? Just to be able to continue and refine your craft, right?
Yeah, all you have to work on constantly.
Mhm. So when you do, what is in order for you to continue on and keep practicing and doing what you're doing, what's your normal day like as far as Mr. James Blood Ulmer? Your practice time, like how many times do you practice during a day? What do you normally do?
What I do, I concentrate on the music mostly, and constantly trying to make the music, and also separate the styles of the music, because you can get mixed it up so much until your listener don't even know what you're playing sometimes.
Right.
But you can break it down into, I like classes, not the class, but classes of stuff. Like jazz is the whole thing coming from the same place. Blues,
right.
Gospel, what we got, free funk, whatever the music is.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in a separate package, like the body parts. It's all hooked up together, but it's all coming from the same place. And I work on trying to do the separation and link it to something, link it to the blues, really. That's what I try to do.
And also link it to as far as us as fans of music, link it to certain points of times. Like, I mean, to me, I always feel like when I hear a song, and I remember one of the first songs that I heard from you is just, to me, anytime that someone hears something, usually it catches your attention maybe like the first 30 seconds, if not sooner, right? You might hear it, and sometimes I'm like, I'm listening to the guitar getting down. I'm like, man, this guy's getting down. Like, I wish I could do that, And for the people out there that's playing guitar and really trying to fine tune their craft and blues and jazz or whatever, like, during a given day, like, how many hours do you normally work on what you're doing and what you do when you do concerts?
Well, when I do concert, I prepare because I do like different projects. So I actually work on it, each thing twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. And I try to that, and I do about 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. And between time, I think about it.
So you eat, sleep, wake up, take a shower, and it's all music. You always got some kind of melody in your head, huh?
Thinking about it, what to do to upgrade it.
Hard-working man right here. Hey, James Blood Ulmer is our guest on Legacy Showcase, and I know I asked you this, I think, a little earlier, but here we are, 2014, and there's so many different genres of music, and we have the young kids in today's age, and to me, I'm a realist, and I know there's pockets of younger folks out there that appreciate blues and jazz and what it means and just the essence of it. But then there's some who just really neglects it, and they don't really pay attention to it like they should. So my question to you is, do you get a sense of that? And if you do, like, what about music, not just from you, but from others, that you can tell some of these young kids to really pay attention to history and legacies being created by blues and jazz artists?
We have to focus on not to lose our music, and we have to focus on the music more than ourselves, because we coming from a place where we play an instrument, someone else made the instrument, and the music was here before either. So
right,
hard to put it in if you concentrate too much on self of how you wanna be the music and instead of the music being. I think you get so a lot of music get it reversed round. They become the music instead of the music becoming them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it's more? You think it's more popular? It's more commercialized, I guess you can say, compared to, you know how you said earlier that what you did when you first started doing this, it was something that you did to not just make a living, but also you found out that, hey, you know what? This is my calling. I need to enhance this. I need to practice. I need to do a lot what needs to be done to keep myself going, to be able to get jobs, to make money, and to make a living. And do you feel like
you can get worse than that, because sometimes when you get in it so deep, it's not about even making a living. It's just something that you do, and you have to live in doing what you do.
Amen.
And when you get to that, you realize that you have to control everything yourself.
Mm. Your words to my ears, to the radio station out there with all these people listening. I mean, that's gospel right there, man. I've always believed that, James, about music in itself. I mean, it's a powerful thing. It's when you're in concerts, and I've seen a couple of your performances on YouTube, and I've seen you perform, heard your music. So I felt like I was a little school kid when I first found out you was coming on, man. I was like, man, I can't believe I'm gonna actually have dialogue with this guy, because I love the passion that you have when you play what you play and what you put forth as far as your music. So I had to give you some props, in continuing this interview, sir. So I had to make sure I do that, because I loved your music. So what's in store for you in 2014, sir? What are you up to as far as musically? Any concerts? Any things going on?
Well, I'm doing a few things already. Because first I play with the blues orchestra. I got festivals with that, and then I'm playing blues solo. I got about 2 or 3 solo gigs with festivals and club, and then I got a tour I do with I call it revisiting of some music that I played in the 80s.
Okay.
And so I call that a revisit. I just did a tour, Phalanx Revisited, where I had a group called Phalanx with brother George Adams, and that was such a time at that time, and I'm doing a few revisiting of music that I played a long time ago, that people who is maybe 30, maybe 40 years younger haven't heard it.
Okay.
And I'm trying to bring that back in the front.
Have you gotten a lot of a handful of some of the younger crowd just really embracing and appreciating a lot of the work that you've done as well recently?
Yeah, well, that's what's happening right now.
Okay.
Because the people I used to, especially I find that out when I go to Europe, because when I used to play in Europe a long time ago, all of those people is some of them is my age and just a little younger. And the audience there is all young people now, just because they heard that I was there before, and they coming because of what they heard someone say about what I was doing.
Wow.
Which is Cool.
See, James, and I think that's really good. And you know, I'm in my 30s myself, but I got to tell you this story real quick, and I think you're probably gonna understand where I'm going from, where I'm coming from when you hear it. Like, you know, I'm in my 30s, right? And I'm, you know, as a young child, I was growing up listening to a lot of music that my mom would always play. And let me take you back, James. Tales of Captain Black. Let me take you back there.
Oh my goodness.
Let me take you back there. Yes. And I remember my mom listening to it, and I'm like, you know, and even as a young guy, I'm still like, wow, this is good. Like, you know, I would love to learn how to play like that guy plays. Who is that guy? So, you know, my mom then told me, you know, story, hey, you know what, this is a beautiful album. That was your first one, right?
First record, Tales of Captain Black.
That was your first one. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I made it clear, because I remember my mom would always tell me that. And she would always go back, too, even as I got older. Like, she would always say, hey, you know what, make sure you don't forget, you know, your James Ulmer stuff. Like, make sure you get your Blood Ulmer stuff, your music. You got to get your music. And I got to tell you, like, I grew up listening to you, and still to this day, I followed you throughout the you know, I want to say the young career that I have as far as music, and just how you made me feel at that particular time. Because when I first heard some of the stuff off your first album, I don't know, it just I still can't really describe how it made me feel, when I felt it and why, but I remember it. And a lot of it had to do was based on talent and what you brought to the table each time out. So, you know, I had to tell you that story just to let you know that it's you know, it's deeper than just being a fan of your music, because you made me feel a certain way that I still don't know to this day. It's like an out-of-body experience, man. It's a deep thing.
Oh, man, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's why I say it's important to revisit some things.
Right. And I just feel like what you're doing is definitely on point, as far as letting some of the younger folks know, and the people out there that's listening, that's really trying to get to know James Blood Ulmer. Just, you know, you can actually go to jamesbloodulmer.com. I mean, that website is active in yours, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure because, you know, I just wanted to make sure that people out there definitely hit the website up and just embrace it and go back, and you can YouTube so many of his work, his live work, and just in general. So, you know, I got to ask you, because, you know, growing up in this real diverse age that we have, and, you know, how is all this website, media, online stuff working for you?
Well, I don't. The truth is, I don't. I think some of it is on point, but and some of it I get kind of frustrated, because it seems like sometimes it feels like stolen ideas sometimes, but it's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
It do express what happened, whether you like it or not. Those videos on the YouTube that they show that you do, a lot of them you might not know they're doing. I try to, when I go to a concert, I say, oh man, don't take no video, don't put this on YouTube. They ready? No. But then I get home, it's on YouTube already.
Oh my goodness, hey. I mean, it's that instant, and you're right, James, because it's that instant media that, you know, it's funny how it is nowadays, because before you even get home, sit down, turn on your computer, it's already there.
It's already there. What you done
already
last night. Somebody showed what you did last night already, and you ain't know what you ain't seen. It was okay.
Right. And it could be a blessing and a curse too, right? Like, you know, you can have it. Sometimes you just, you know, you feel like, you know, hey, I was on my game, but I just really wanted to, you know, keep it intimate between me and the fans that's there. Sometimes you really don't want it to be out there like that, right?
You don't want it to be out there right now, but that's not how the internet works.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to be ready. So that means you have to prepare yourself at your worst. You got to be at your best.
Absolutely. And before we wrap it up, this is, hey, one of the greats when it comes to blues guitarist, James Blood Ulmer on Legacy Showcase. In general, like, are you still doing? I know you're doing a lot of different things as far as concert wise or whatever. But are you coming to California anytime soon, sir?
Oh, I hope so, man. I was there last year, California, to UCLA.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't been back this year. I think I was there last year, but I haven't been there this year yet.
Okay.
And I haven't heard anything of California yet, but I do want to go to California. I like to California.
Oh, and I heard when you was down there, man. I have a lady friend that was real excited to listen to you tonight because she was actually able to see you live, and that's one thing that I definitely want to do. So I might have to go find you out there in New York or somewhere before you come to California, or when you do, I need to make sure I just have a chance to come hang out with you. So just know I'm tracking you down, man. I definitely want to see you perform live. I haven't had that opportunity, so I want to do that.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. Okay. Let's make that happen.
But you definitely you got that right. We're definitely gonna make it happen. And look, I want to thank you for taking the time out to hang out with me. And again, like I said, it's your birthday was only about a week and a half ago, but have a very, very continued birthday. And just know you got a bunch of fans out here listening, not just myself, but a lot of us out here who really and truly appreciate a great when we hear one and when we see one live. Like I said, I have yet to see you perform, but I've watched you. So,
Okay, good.
Got a lot of love for you, man.
All right.
All right, you have a good one. That is the great blues guitarist James Blood Ulmer right here on Legacy Showcase. We'll be back with more.